to. Mom won't let us go to the movies with our friends. We have to stay home all weekend. Grandpa Derell, what do you think?
Family fun night is my favorite. I get to be with you three. You know what? It reminds me of a story, actually. There was this very, very poor old woman and her son. They lived together. Of course, not like you three. You have your mother and your father, right? And your grandpa. But it was just the two of them living. And one day, the mother, she found something. She found something very precious. She found something. It was very amazing. Very, very precious. Something you never imagined she would find. I want to tell you about that. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah!
You kids bring me so much joy. All right, well, I'm going to read you the story, okay? This is a story about an old mother and her son. They lived in a very small village. And every day the son, he would get up in the morning, early in the morning, stretch his body, and he would go up the mountain. He went up the mountain and gathered a lot of wood. And he would come back down the mountain all day. He went to the mountain and came back down, and he had a lot of wood. And he would take the wood, and then he would sell it in the village. This is how they made money. When they had the money, they could buy food, they could buy water, they could buy many things that they needed inside of the house, right? But when it would rain, the son, he couldn't go to work. And so the grandma, old mother, and then her son would starve. Their stomach would growl for many, many, many days. They would be very hungry. So the young man, he was responsible for going out every day to the mountains, gathering wood and selling it in the city. He would sell it, bring the money, then they could buy food, bread. You guys like bread?
Yeah!
I love bread. My favorite food is bread. What about your favorite food?
Bread.
Bread! We like bread together. What about you? Ice cream, right? These two, they ate a lot of food. When the son would go out and get money, he would buy the food and they would eat the bread. They would eat their food and they would be full. But when he didn't go out, they would be so hungry for days, many days. And so, when the rain would stop, he would climb back up the mountain, get the wood, spend all day, and he would bring the wood down. But one day, something different happened. You want to know what happened? His mother was cleaning the yard, cleaning, and she came across something on her foot. Ow, 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 that hurts, she said. And she looked down, and she saw something. It had a strange color, and she bent down to look at it. And she wiped it. She couldn't see. So she brought her tools and she dug the ground. What is this? Oh, she found it. It was a big piece of gold. At that time, she became very, very, very nervous, like she stole something. She became really nervous. And she covered it back up in the ground very fast. Oh my God, that's too big. That money is a big, big gold. Oh my God, how did they get here? She was so nervous. And so she thought, oh my God, what could I buy with that gold? And so she got up. She went back into the house. And she lay back down. She lay down in her bed. And all night she thought about it. What can I buy with that gold? I could buy a new house. I could get my son married because her son was of age to get married because they were poor. He couldn't get married. But now he could get married. They can buy new clothes. They could live a very, very prosperous life, very happy life. And so she laid down and she tossed and turned and she thought, oh, what can I buy with the gold? Oh, what could I buy? What could I buy? She thought about it all night. For days, she couldn't sleep. She couldn't sleep. Yeah, it was difficult. So one day, her son, he noticed something strange. And he said, Mom, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? You don't look like yourself. And she said, no, honey, I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm totally fine. He said, no, Mom, you're not eating regularly. No, honey, everything's okay. But at the same time, she kept thinking inside of her head, what can we buy with the gold? What can we buy with the gold? And so every day, the son would wake up. He would go up to the mountain. He was going to work, right?
Yes.
He would go and work, and he would bring the wood, and he would sell the wood. And even though they were very poor, every day that he went out to get the wood and to sell the wood, they were able to eat, right?
Yes.
And they were able to be happy together between the mother and the son. And even the son made the mother some really delicious food. He made her some really delicious food and brought it to her. Oh, Mom, eat this. Oh, honey, okay. Oh, it's so delicious. Did you ever make your parents' food before?
No.
Yes, and some people know. I remember when I was young, early in the morning, especially on Mother's Day, we didn't have much, but I would crack open that egg and I would make eggs for my mom on Mother's Day. And I would bring it to her bed and she'd be so happy. Oh, honey, thank you so much. I didn't know how to make eggs at the time. I don't think those eggs were delicious, but my mom really loved when I made her food on Mother's Day. And on Father's Day, I would crack open eggs and I would bring eggs to my father's bed, and he was so happy when I brought him breakfast. And this son, he made a delicious meal for his mother. He brought it to her. You think she was happy?
Yes.
Yeah, she was very happy. She really loved being with her son, and her son loved being with her. But because of this gold, the mother, her head was very complicated. What should I do with this gold? I don't know. If I buy many wonderful things for my son, then guess what? He doesn't need to go to work anymore. He doesn't have to go and bring the wood anymore, right?
Yes.
And then she thought, she thought, the rich men in the city, she saw the rich men in the city. They did gambling. Do you know what gambling is?
No.
They're using their money and trying to make more money. Or they would go out drinking and smoking, smoke and playing and have a lot of fun. And she thought about that. If my son become like the rich men in the city, he's gonna become like drunk and he's gonna smoke and gamble. You think she wants her son to do that?
No.
In fact, she wanted her son to be very close to her. And so she thought, maybe I have to do something different with this gold, right?
Yes.
She couldn't do the same thing that she did before. She didn't want to just hide the gold and just leave it there. But she needed to do something even more big. And so she thought, really deep. I mean, really deep, she thought. And then, guess what? She had an idea. She thought, I have an idea. I'll go to my son and tell him something. And so the son, he came down from work. And then she said, son, I'm getting very old. And I think I'm not going to live very long. But let's not just stay in this old house, but let's go out to another place and see the world. Let's not only live here, let's travel a little. Let's find a new place to live. And so her son said to her, Mom, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do it. You're getting a little older. Let's live and do the things that you want to do before you go. And so they left the village, they left the house, and they left the big piece of gold in the ground. And the son never found out about the gold. And the mother and the son lived very, very happy, loving each other. The end. It's a good story, right?
Yes!
Because the mother and the son could be together. They were very, very, very happy together, right?
Yes!
Yes. You know, when I think about this story, I think about you three. Even though this time you may not be able to go to the movies with your friends or buy very expensive clothes or do many other things that other kids can do, you have your family. Kids at home, you have your family, and that's very, very good. And enjoy your family. Enjoy your brothers and your sisters. Enjoy your mother and your father. You love your brothers and sisters, right?
Yes!
Yes, enjoy your grandparents. Enjoy your life. It's very, very good. And so, this reminds me of a time when I had a chance to spend with my mother and my father. Now, my mother and my father, they moved on, they're in heaven. But when we spent our times together, it was really, really wonderful. And now I get to spend time with grandkids. And now I get to spend time with all of you two. And this is most, most precious to me. And when you find the family fun night, it's very precious when you can have time with your family. So I hope that you all can spend a loving time with your family and that you can enjoy one another. And you three, enjoy your family fun night, okay?
Yes!
Bye, kids.
Bye!
Now you three hurry up and go to your family fun night. I'll be there soon. I'm on my way.